Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fancy Football. And this is our African Football Vibe show. Um, we want to look at African football because we are from Africa, and there's no other place that we can call home rather than Africa. And we all know that African football has grown from learn to bread over the years. Um, Top players have played for Europe. We can start mentioning names, but we all know them, and we all know how they fare, from Samuel Eto'o, JJ Okocha, Roger Miller, Kanu Nwankwo, and a host of others have played the round leader game for Africa, in Africa, and have taken that plight to Europe. Uh, have shown that they really need to be talked about. In our African football vibes show today, we put Nigeria in focus, and we want to ask if or who will replace Jose Peseiro as the Super Eagles coach, and why is he taking the NFF time? The NFF should have foreseen these things, this issue of Peseiro after the Nations Cup coming up. But I think we have a very lame duck NFF. That's all I always call it. They are lame duck. They always wait for the federal government to push, or the minister to push, before they move. Well, let's see. And there's no other person to discuss this issue rather than the sport bishop once more today. Good afternoon, also, Adezechi, and thanks for having you on the African Football Vibes show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's good to talk African football. I think for some time now, after the Africa Cup of Nations, it's been more or less Europe, and what's happened across the top five leagues in Europe. So it's good to be back on the show, like I always say on our show, and always grateful to be here to do the needful talk sport.
It's good to talk sport. It's good to talk African football once more, and no other place African football rather than fancy football. Okay, now let's look at the situation with in the glass house with the Super Eagles. They'll be playing Ghana in the friendly match on Friday.
Yeah,
As me and you speak, we don't even have a permanent manager.
yeah.
Um, we knew that Jose Peseiro is going to take this route because you gave him a semi-final to call it a semi-final benchmark.
Target, yeah.
Yes, a benchmark or a target of semi-final in the Nations Cup, and he exceeded that benchmark by taking it to the final. Almost won. Almost won. Let's use the word almost won. Uh, but at the end of the day, uh, the guy knew that something else was coming from this NFF. He knew that his contract was not going to be renewed. He also knew that some people in the NFF will want him out as well, and his contract as well was about ending. I don't know. Did he cut, or did he catch the NFF off guard?
I don't think so. To be sincere with you, I don't think so. And I will give you the reason why I feel that he did not catch the NFF off guard. One, we already knew that his contract had expired, and in the new contract heading to the AFCON, this man took a pay cut. Was at some point was paid 70,000 dollars per month, and then it reduced to $50,000 per month, just that so that he can take the team to the Africa Cup of Nations. Remember when Pesero joined the Super Eagles, he kept on saying something. I want to win the AFCON. I want to win the AFCON. I want to win the AFCON. And unfortunately for him, he signed a 1 year contract that would have taken him to the AFCON due to the postponement and the delay. It didn't happen, and then he negotiated. This man even took a pay cut. That's the painful part, to go to the AFCON. And not only did he go to the AFCON, he superseded his targets, but in the semifinals, got to the final. Like you said, almost have won the tournament. You would expect the NFL should have expected shooter coming for him, and they should have known that if he's going to sign a new contract for the Super Eagles of Nigeria,
Yeah.
then and only then he'll be asking for maybe a humongous amount of money, or maybe even more than what he was taking the last time, the time he first took the job as gaffer of the Super Eagles. So I don't think he called them unaware. Like I said, If you look at the antecedent, the fact that he had to take a pay cut, it had to be extended, the fact that he overseeded his ambition, not even to be suit us, and the fact that if he was going to stay, even if he had loved the team so much, he would have need to, for lack of words, he would have need to be given an offer that he would not be able to reject. You get so for me, I don't think Panama like I quite agree with that. I felt the NFL they were dilly-dallying. They were because if I speak to them, I still think they are still undecided. And for a team that has Nations Cup qualifying, World Cup qualifying by next more than a month, just let's say maybe a month and a half from now, still thinking of who will be the manager. Look at Egypt, they had a plan. They fired the manager and they got Musa to become the new coach. And Mojene, who let go of Ramadi, has appointed the new manager already. They were going to cut Peseiro. Peseiro was trying to delay them by cutting him and got a new manager, in Petrovic. So it doesn't matter. Nigeria didn't have a plan. The other entities have shown that they are proactive instead of reactive. But then again, yet again, they are not released as the show goes on. But it tells us that there's something going on with the NFL when it comes to planning and preparation. Because even the plan and the depth here, and it was going to stay in the Super Eagles, we take an absolute
Do you think? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
We know the antecedents of the people in the glass house. I don't want to start mentioning names. We know the antecedents, poor planning, lack of anticipation of what to come next. Even when they know what to come next, they are ignorant about it. We all know these guys in the glass house, and we know how how arrogant they are. But
yes,
to come to think about it, this is the Super Eagles coach we are talking about. This is one of the top African countries, top 3 African countries, if not the top 3 in the FIFA ranking currently now.
Absolutely.
Without a manager,
substantive
without
manager,
a coach, without a substantive coach. Now we are going to the friendlies with Ghana. We are hearing that Finidi George, names have been flying out there, blah blah, left, right, center.
But for the friendly games, NFL have confirmed that the interim manager of the team is going to be Finidi George. He'll be the man in charge of those friendly games. He has been with the team for the past 2 days. The campaign has begun. We hear. The last time I checked, there were 16 players in camp. They were expecting 6 more players because we already know that 4 players pulled out of this game. Victor Osimhen, Tyron Ebuehi. Not forgetting, I'm trying to grab some of the players who also Taiwo Awoniyi, Victor Osimhen, Tyron Ebuehi. They all picked up knocks, and so they will not be available for this game. So instead of 26, like that was listed by the NFF, only 22 will take part. So we're hoping by the end of today, the squad will be up to 22. We heard that Felipe George also had his first backroom staff meeting with the NFF as well. That was yesterday. He has laid down the marker. And maybe this could be his audition. A lot of people were saying, give Felipe the job. We'll come to that, give people the job. Maybe this could be Felipe George's audition to prove to the NFF that, okay, I'm man enough for this job. I'm ready for this job. This is the job I want to have, and I can do the job if you let me.
Okay. He needs the job. Can he do the job? We know the pressure that comes with you being the manager of the Nigerian Super Eagles. We know how the technical board, especially when you are a home-based coach. We know how the technical
homegrown.
Yes, homegrown coach or home-based coach. Let's call it home-based coach. We know how you'll be pushed left, right, center. We've seen that with Sunday Odyssey. We've seen that with Stephen Keshi. We also saw that with the likes of may God bless his soul. Sorry, we also saw that with the likes of Emenike at some point. Eguavoin. See, I keep saying this. In as much as I use the English national team, in as much as I rate Gary Southgate as a grade D manager, to be frank. I have no apologies for that. As a grade D manager, I respect him for one thing. Yes, he goes with loyalty. He sticks with his men. he sticks with the players that have. Yes, sometimes he
that have
doesn't because
that have proved
yes, that have proved that. But sometimes he doesn't look at your players' current form. But
form. Yeah,
yes, but it is so vital because I was surprised yesterday that Kobe Mainoo was called up
Kobe
for.
Bryant called up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was surprised yesterday, but it still remains. It still remains that uh, you need a manager or you need a coach for the Super Eagles that is that when given that job, he's expected. Listen to what I'm saying. That he's expected. For me as a coach, you are expected not to bow down.
Mm.
You are expected not to bow down. You are you. It is expected of people to bow down to you, to respect what you say, including your employers, including the players and your backroom staff as well. But over the
Mm.
years, what we find out is that because the job is being given to individuals based on favor rather than merit, we see managers and coach. We see Super Eagles coaches or managers bowing down to their employers, which is not supposed to be, bowing down to their players, stooping so low, and that is why at the end of the day, we all know what will happen at the end of the day. These guys are being.
See,
So
let's look at it from this
I
point of
don't
view.
understand. Yeah,
Mm. First of all, if you listen to the board member or one of the board member, he said that he claimed anonymous, but this is what he said, and I want to quote him. He said, "What the Super Eagles read right now after the exit of Jose Peseiro is a world class coach,
in what
an
sense? In what sense?
expatriate." And
In
that's
what
why I said
sense?
something we will debate about. He said he's a world class coach, an expatriate, a foreign world class coach. And to be sincere, from the words coming from the NFF, is that they're not even coy on getting a home based coach. There were reports that that they were hinging and hanging on appointing Amonike as coach and Freddie George as assistant coach. They were hanging on that as well. That they were just waiting for they were deciding whether to when to announce it. But from the body language we're getting from the NFL is that they want a foreign coach. And for the body, remember to say that there is no world class coach in Nigeria. In his word, they say there's no world class coach in Nigeria. That no coach in Nigeria is that we have good homegrown coaches, but there is no coach that is there yet that is good enough for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I don't know whether you agree with that assertion, but if you tell me that we don't have any world class coach or any coach right now in Nigeria that is good enough for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, I may
Yeah.
not lay fault to that. I may not have too much of argument on that.
No,
But
we
what
may
I
not
would
have
not,
it. We may
yeah.
not have it
But
because
what I would,
boils down, boils down to
but
the point I've just mentioned now. It boils down to all these points
yeah.
I've mentioned before you started making your comment or started giving me an
But the
answer.
problem, my problem is the issue I have now is with the so-called foreign world-class coach. And then
Yeah.
this was the question running through my head: is Peseiro Jose a world-class coach? Okay, now yeah, I caught you there. Is Raw a world-class coach? Remember, I said something some few months ago, and some few weeks ago, when I said that the recent coaches of the Super Eagles that come from Europe, they need the Super Eagles more than we need them. They leave the Super Eagles better than they came, leaving us worse than they left us. And I will give you the facts from it.
I know, but Jose Peseiro didn't leave you worse. He didn't
No,
leave
I
you
think he
worse.
did, and I'll tell you. I think he did, and I'll tell you why. Despite the successes he accrued,
Yeah.
we played one of our worst football in a very long time. And you and I know that if we get a proper coach who wants to get these boys playing, he cannot stick with this style of football. He would have. It's like right now when it's just like anybody coming down would have to bring down the castle down and start rebuilding. We know he built a castle, got to the final, our best performance in 10 years at the AFCON. We know that he won games against some top teams you expected us to lose against. But any coach coming right now would have to bring the whole building down. That is my issue. And then start afresh. Except he wants to go that route. And how successful can we be with that route on a long run? That's the big issue. So for me, I think Peseiro now is now being looked like it's nothing. It seems like Algeria, Egypt, are now looking for his services. Where was Peseiro before he got the Nigerian job? Didn't they think it was good and he was unemployed for crying out loud? Why didn't he go to poach him? Guerrero left the Super Eagles and they got a lucrative job, even more paying job than the one of the Super Eagles with Benin Republic. He was not seen like a top manager in Africa because he has coached the Super Eagles, because of the quality of the Super Eagles, because of the level, the leverage, let me use that word, the history of the Super Eagles. So at the end of the day, we realize that we help them more than they help us. So I quite agree with. I may not have a too much argument with that. We don't have a world class coach. We don't have a coach X. But when you say we need an expatriate and we need a foreign world class coach, in the past 15 years, please correct me if I'm wrong. Apart from Westerhoff, I don't think we have and Bromford Joe. I don't think we have employed any world class coach from Europe. When we got Lars Lagerbäck, what was his job duty? He left Nigeria, he got a job in Iceland, and now he got a job. They leave Nigeria better than they left. Peseiro was the sixth highest. Lars Lagerbäck was the sixth highest paid coach at the World Cup in 2000 and was it 2010? Yes, Lars Lagerbäck in South Africa. I can't forget that. How did he leave Nigeria? This man did not even step his foot in the country. He joined the team far away in South Africa, finished the World Cup, and did not even land in Lagos or Abuja. He left us there. So he was a contract staff. He left us. So I asked myself.
But with all these things you mentioned, we know the problem. We know all this problem. And when you speak to some of the top journalists, in Nigerian football, they just frown at it, and maybe because and I will say it. I will say it crystal clear on this show. Maybe because some of these journalists are in the pocketbooks of the NFF.
The pay books, yes, that's the word. Pay books.
Let me use
they have their pay masters.
Yes. So I don't understand.
Their incentives.
Let us call what is white, and let us call what is black. The reality is.
Do you know how we pick Amunike? So those two coaches that coached us last. Do you know?
Yes.
What they do with their home? What they do with their home-based coaches? What do they do with their home-based coaches? Simple, quick fix. Oh, we're about to crash out of a tournament. We fire the foreign coach, and then can we assemble a consortium of local coaches to save the day, like they did when Nigeria played Ghana in Abuja? Okay, it did not happen. Like they did when they sacked Guerrero. They said, it's just some few weeks to the AFCON. Where can we get a coach? We promote you. Amunike, come and join him. Let's go and play AFCON. And then maybe because of the fact that they don't have much time, there is no plan for them. It's just a fire brigade approach. They fail. Home coaches. They have failed again.
When would the NFF stop this issue of lack of preparation, lack of foresight, lack of knowing that football is a business? It's not just talk, or I want to bring a world-class coach. Football is business. It's big business.
Absolute business.
When will the NFF stop this whole charade?
Funny enough, when they come to speak to the press,
I think for me,
okay, go ahead.
I think for me, the NFF, I think over time, for the past 2 decades, they've lost touch with football. Apart from a little bit, I will hail a little bit of Pinnick today, a little bit well, but still, we expected more from him to reorganize the NFF and bring something.
To be fair enough, did Pinnick really help our football? Did he help himself?
Something.
Can you hear what I'm trying to say?
Different from what we've used to.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Well, he couldn't. Oh.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you. Yeah. Like I asked you a question. I said, did Pinnick really help Nigerian football, or did he help himself? Because right now he's more relevant in both African and foreign food and
Yes, because we created that. It's because we
international
failed.
football that night. What do you think?
No. I just think that the structure wasn't really there. Look at
Are you
the French
there?
national side. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me
Well,
now?
perfectly well. Go ahead.
Okay. Look at the French
I can hear you well. Go
national
ahead.
side. Look at the English national side. Look at the Spanish national side. Look at the Brazilian national side, Argentina national side. Look at how organized they are. You have traveled the length and breadth of the world of football. You should be able to learn one or
Yeah.
two things and bring it back to your national team. But what do we have? We have guys coming in, they campaign left, right, center because they have money or they have influence around the circle of this football fraternity in Nigeria, and they become NFF president at the end of the day with nothing upstairs, with nothing to show for after 5 or after 10 years as the NFF president. And at the end of the day, we go on in the circles again. I don't just understand where we go, where we have gotten it wrong over time.
I think we need a rejig of our statue. When we leave the hands of football for a country that has over 250 million people in the hand of few, the so-called
Yeah,
FA chairmans, they tell you only the FA can vote. They tell you only maybe a representative from the referee, a representative from, but if you can spread the tentacles to all different stakeholders in sports, the press, and this media, you can talk about the referees. Let them have a pool that can even have up to over 150 people. Let me see how many people can you then bribe in the election? But now you have maybe less than, let's say, 40, 30 something to 40 board board members. You can, by the time we increase the pool, and unfortunately, this can only happen if those who are already there agree to increase it. Now, would they increase it? The answer is no, because they are eating fat from this system. During the election, I kept talking about how can we have only few people decide the fate of Nigerian football. They said, okay, they even talk about, there were a lot of talks about having a reforms. These guys did not allow it. They didn't sign it into being done before the election, not after the election, not even now. So we keep our football is in the hand of the microscopic few at the end of the day. So it's now a game of recycling on behalf of our affairs. We keep recycling. We keep recycling. You check out I'm not no that's special to Ibrahim because I think it's one of when it comes to women football. I think it's an appointment for the league. It's an appointment for both the NNL, the NLO, the NPFL, and of course the women league has been spot on. I was going to do well. I give you a mark. Look at what the NPFL is turning into. But be sincere. He was also part of the last board as the chairman of chairman. Remember, so you end
yeah,
up bringing someone who's already in that system because of it already that system. Don't forget the last election, Shehu Diko also who was the first vice president also contested. Remember,
yeah.
Shehu Yakumi, the local state chairman and vice also contested. So you end up knowing that you keep going around in circles at the end of the day. But if you broaden the scope, well, in other climes, you can be a non-football partisan. Just say, okay, I want to run for the FA chairman, and you can run. All they will ask is, what do you bring to the table? And by the same time that this guy wanted to contest for the presidency of FIFA, then there was a lot of reports about Jose Carlo as well. Where he was also with Sepp Blatter, and the issue with Sepp Blatter happened, and it seemed that thing calmed down. So I think for me, if you see, we must not be in the house. I can be from outside and watch and say, okay, this is what I want to give to football in Nigeria. And I go on and contest, but you can't contest. The country will tell you have to go to your FA, become the FA chairman. You have to be a member of the board in your state. All these things stuff to turn it into a cult or a more or less a my people, and that is why our football is where it is. So. But anyway, like I said, I wouldn't blame Ibrahim Gusso for Peseiro. He didn't get that. He wasn't the one who gave him the contract. It is now that I expected him to be proactive and stamp his ground. So, okay, Peseiro has left. And we knew he was going to leave in the next 2 months. This is the plan. But I'm so surprised that we are still in that same sluggish mood that we were under the last administration. That's what about the Amaju led board as well. We all know this man was going to leave. You reduce the salary from by $20,000. And now that is the toast of the whole Africa. You expect him to take $50,000 again? He asked for 120,000. You say you cannot pay him. He will look for somewhere else and pitch his tent. Now his market value has risen. So he whole knife, whole yam. So he will decide. So I thought if the NFF had realized that we are not financially buoyant enough to foot this man's bill. So they would have been thinking, what next? Who can step in and that can work with our own budget that will either do better or keep the terrain at least on a safe road until we can get enough money to get a coach that can take us to the next level. But they were not proactive as well. Again. And they are telling us we don't have world-class coaches. We don't have world-class coaches in Nigeria. You know what you're telling us? But we have coaches that have won the under-17 World Cup in Amunike. We have a coach who applied for this job, who is the first African coach to play the Champions League group stages. You have a coach like Sandro Lise, who said the Super Eagles, the numbers is impeccable. He worked out of the job, but his numbers was good. He was one who brought in Mr. Simon, Sylvester Igbon. He brought some new players in the team that are still there till now. So I keep saying it. We need to make. I'm so disappointed when I heard that. If you need a job, if you want to finish job to be the coach, why not give him a job full time? And if he fails,
give him the job.
Absolutely. So he can use this. The friendly game is not for you to know your players. Imagine him now. Let's assume now, right? That he used this team now to know the players. By the time he's playing the Nations Cup qualifiers, the World Cup qualifier, he must have at least known something new about these players. But now you get to finish the job. He plays the friendly game. He leaves. You get another coach. The coach has learned absolutely nothing from these boys because he has not been in camp with these boys. And then he goes to the World Cup and he fails with limited time and limited resources. It's really shambolic.
Okay, the sport bishop. This match with Ghana, the match with Ghana, we played on Friday.
Friday and start the Marrakesh.
In Morocco.
Yeah, start the Marrakesh in Morocco.
Yes, and also they'll be playing Mali on the 26th as well, which is
the same stadium as well.
At the same stadium.
Yeah.
These matches are friendly matches. Let's just put that. But they are grade A matches. Grade A matches.
Grade A matches. So imagine you wasting 2 grade A matches with an interim coach. And this should have been a warm-up game for a World Cup qualifiers. Are we not joking?
We are joking.
Are we not playing?
Yeah.
This is a game that even if you see, by now it's okay. Even if it's a gamble, in leadership, in management, you take risk. We say, okay, for the job or Amunike, you have the job. Your job is to qualify us for the Nations Cup and qualify us for the World Cup. If you can't, the exit door. It's a gamble. But the man will agree, will like take it. The man says I will take it. He knows what he's up to. And then he puts his acts together and then his hands go straight to work. It's really sad. Really sad. Right now, for the job we leave, he's not even sure he's going to be part of the coaching crew. When next?
He has a job. He has a job, right?
With Eimba in the MPFL. It's not even sure. Let's assume now that they get a foreign coach. I don't know which foreign world class coach will coach Super Eagles now. So let them get a grade D coach.
Why are you using world class coach? Sometimes I just laugh.
Well, I don't know which world class coach.
For the benefit of Nigerian footballer, world class coach.
Where can we get a world class coach now that will take the job of the Super Eagles with an NFF who's always screaming that they are cash strapped? We can't pay Peseiro 120. For me to get a world class coach, we pay him as high as 500,000 every month. Do the math. If Peseiro is wanting 120, can we pay 500,000 every month? Even Hugo Bruce. So coaches are taking the coach of Algeria, when he was the coach, was taking up to 230. He's a local coach. Domestic. I don't like the word local. And he's taking that job. Let's look at the permutation. When last did an African coach win the African Cup a foreign coach win the African Cup of Nations? When last did a foreign coach take Nigeria past the round of 16? But look at the guys who have gone to the quarterfinals, who have gone to the semi-finals. All are African coaches, man. African coaches.
Well, see, that's not the yardstick. You can only use the player you have. You can only use the player that you have.
Wait. If you were that good, they should be the one. They should be breaking out the record in Africa. Look at Faye. Look at
Faye. I bet you Faye will go to the world stage and mess up.
See Louis Gasset. Look at Louis Gasset. What about okay? I agree. Even if he messes up, look at the foreign coach. This guy is Louis Gasset, who's now the coach of Marseille right now, or Lyon, I beg your pardon. He's a grade A, grade B coach. At once, grade B coach because he has managed top teams in France and Italy. He comes to Cote d'Ivoire and he suffers stunted growth and finally wins the African Cup of Nations. The last African Cup of Nations was won by an Algerian home-based coach. I can take you back. The best manager that South Africa has had, apart from what Hugo Bruce did now, because Bruce, to me, I see him as an African. He has been in African terrain for so long a time, he now looks like an African. For a foreign coach to do well, let's go back to the history of African coaches. They must have been able to acclimatize to the culture, the style, the philosophy of African football. West Ham was resident here. Buffalo Joe was resident here. The coach that took Senegal to their first quarter final, I'm trying to remember his name, the late man now. I'm trying to remember his late now. He's married to a Senegalese woman. You get my point right now. Look at the foreign coach that did well. They're based here. Rahab Renard is African already. Because when he was coaching, he started with Zambia. He lived in Zambia. Those boys were not foreign-based players. They were local-based players he groomed. How many foreign-based coaches can we bring down that would decide to sit down in Nigeria, watch your MPFL, watch your NNL, and when he's not even watching them, let him be having a training session, maybe once or twice every month with these local-based players that he can groom? He would not. He will still do the same thing by calling Alex Iwobi, calling Kelechi and Achor from Leicester City. Some coaches, if they have loyalties, they can go as far as Turkey or Kazakhstan.
This is what you have given him. This is what you have given him. It's what you have. Okay, Sport Bishop.
So it's really sad.
It's sad. I think we spent quite an amplitude amount of time talking about this issue, and now we just hope that our voice have been heard over there by one or two members of. I know even when they watch this video, see these guys don't know what they're talking about. But this is the reality. We see it every day. Every day in world football, and that is why if you have a free gate, a match between Eibar and Kano Pillars, you open the gates for free. People will prefer watching the Premier League between them. Maybe let me just use the word sports and Luton Town. Exactly, people will prefer watching that because again, we have not made our sport attractive. We have not really looked at the business part of our football, and that's why we are getting it wrong. So at this time, I just hope that something needs to change, and the Guso-led NFL have to change something.
Absolutely. Let's wait and see what Freddy George can do in the friendly games. Maybe he will try to woo me into his side to get the job, but I don't know the day. I still think instead of playing hanky panky or playing try your luck, why not just give somebody the job and let him either fly or crawl? So, but I said let's see what Freddy George has for us. Maybe a lot of people say he's just coach. He didn't have much to say on that Peseiro. Now he's got the front foot. Hopefully, he flies. Hopefully, for the sake of indigenous coach, because if he does not, then I will tell you he's not an indigenous coach. He has failed us. So others who will be waiting the line, all of them are the same. They will just before it happen, they get another foreign coach. Maybe this time from Kazakhstan, they'll tell you that it was they were told to get him by maybe this time Pep Guardiola. Who knows? It is what it is.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching Fancy Football. We've come to the end of the show today of the African football vibes on Fancy Football. Sport Bishop, thank you also so much for telling us what we need to know about the so-called glass house. Maybe one day we'll throw stone and see what happened in the glass house. And see
no, they will tell you they've left the glass house and now in the stadium. There's no glass in their building.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you some other time. We'll see you next week with this African. We'll give you updates of other African national teams and matches that have been played so far. Who won and who lost? Next week Wednesday, we're back with the African football vibe show. Thank you so much once again, Sword Bishop.
And thank you very much for having me.
Like I say, always subscribe to Fancy Football whenever you come across our video and hit the notification bell when we go live so that you get more updates. We'll see you tomorrow as well, hopefully, with an exciting edition. We'll look at other continents and let's see what we. Sport Bishop, there's a question on our YouTube page. Who has better players currently now between the England
Okay,
and Brazil? Don't answer yet. Go there and answer. Go to our page and answer as well.
I'll do that. I'll do that.